I said it, some people never believe me. It is happening now. Nnamdi Kanu said he is going to defend himself in the court of law. Comes this Friday, 21st of March. He have asked the lead counsel and his representatives to step aside, that he, Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, will face the Nigerian government, will face the judiciary, that he will take the responsibility of defending himself before the court of law in Nigeria. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu, prior to this time, has made a very strong affirmation that no other court has the legal right to try him, because Nigeria, by violating the international treaty between Kenya and Nigeria that borders on his extraordinary jurisdiction, has lost the right, every right to try him, and anyone that dares to try him, including Justice James Omotosho, should be considered as a terrorist. And this is what he's going to display comes 21st of March. It is no longer very far from here. This is just Friday. He is going to display his radicalism, his ingenuity, and understanding of what the law is and what the right of defense is. He's saying, go and stay clear. I will defend myself in the court of law. And this have sent serious panic within the Nigerian judiciary. They are now panicking. What could the outcome of this litigation be at the end of the day? Nobody knows, because with the level of high-spirited boiling because of injustice meted on him, and yet being subjected to such level of humiliation and persecution, he said, I am going to face Nigeria in their own court and definitely will defeat them again. Whatever happens, I'm not giving up. The only way is justice, and I stood by justice. In the last court appearance, he said, it is my right to self-defense. Then let the Nigerian government prove otherwise. Let the Nigerian courts of law, let the Nigerian Attorney General of the Federation prove otherwise. Let them prove that it is not his right for agitation. It is not his right to call for self-determination. This is what Mazen Nnamdi Kanu has briefed the public, and through his lead counsel, Lloyd Ejimako, and his family, that he is going to defend himself, no more hiring lawyers to defend him, that he will defend himself. He will face his own, of course, challenge before the court. And this would be another interesting development, because this is a man who is not deterred, despite every move by the Nigerian government to silence him, to suppress him, to make sure he changes his mind over what he truly believes as the only hope and panacea to the sufferings and the subjugations and oppressions meted on his people. He is not just being driven by selfish interests, but a heart full of pardon for his people, a heart of genuine love for his people. He is crying because of the bitterness, the suffering, the subjugations, the cries of the oppressed, the cries of those suppressed, intimidated, killed in Biafra land is what is driving him crazy, and keeping and maintaining his composure, however odious and exacerbating any situation. He is there to prove his case again and to make sure that he decimates the Nigerian legal jurisprudence, as he has maintained that according to the Nigerian Terrorism and Prevention Prohibition Acts, that anyone who dares to try him under the Nigerian legal jurisprudence is committing an act of terrorism, and this is one of the points he is to prove, of course, to them in that court of law comes March 21st. If you have not subscribed to this channel, kindly do so. Turn on the notification button so that you can follow up this case as we continue to analyze and discuss this important issue and development. Mazen Nnamdi Kanu is set to defend himself and to prove to the Nigerian court that no other court within the Nigerian legal jurisprudence has the right to try him, having lost the legitimacy and the ground. Of course, the jurisdiction to try him, and he is there to defend himself. He's no longer quoting out of context. He's going to quote and cite the Nigerian constitutions that affirms his position or the standing. Now, let the Nigerian court prove otherwise, that they no longer believe in their own court or in the tenets of the Constitution of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. Is a day to watch, and of course, nobody should dare to miss this opportunity to see what plays out within the Nigerian court of law. Even after several lawyers, prominent legal luminaries have said the continued trial of Nnamdi Kanu is an illegality practiced by the Nigerian government. You know what that means? That you can no longer continue the trial of a man who has already been subjected to trial, a very rigorous legal battle, and eventually was set aside. All the count charges levied against him was quashed by the same Nigerian Appellate Court of Law, recognized by the Nigerian Constitution, established under Nigerian laws. The court set aside the count charges, counting them as frivolities and inconsequential, that the Nigerian government and their defense system or legal system could no longer defend their argument or allegation against the Nigerian against Nnamdi Kanu, and eventually the 6 panel judges set up to review the case come up with a very outstanding verdict that Nnamdi Kanu is hereby discharged and acquitted, and no other court has the jurisdiction to try him. Unfortunately, what you are seeing now is out of context. It is no longer it could no longer be referenced in any known court of law within the Nigerian state, where after a process of trial, then the trial will commence again. This is what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is to prove to them, that it is not done in anywhere. It is a gross violation of the fundamental right of his defense and liberty. Just as Nigerian court said he has no case to answer, yet the executive are insisting that the court should start afresh with the same count charges. It is quite unacceptable, and unfortunately, is there to prove them otherwise. And whatever be the outcome of this, of course, will be made known before the public domain. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is no longer patient with the oppression and suppression of his personality, and by virtue of his race, as he has maintained that he is being persecuted because he's an Igbo man. And you could also share the same sentiment based on the realities and the antecedents surrounding his rendition and continued detention within the DSS dungeon. Well, let's watch how things unfold. As he said, I am to defend myself before the court of law. Perhaps Justice James Omotoso will be panicking, or perhaps will be reconsidering what to do at this time. Only time will tell us or will unfold the realities. But whether or not he is in the high spirit, of course, to prove his case beyond reasonable doubt, of course, I will guarantee, I will affirm, yes, he is much ready to defend himself. And you have to be on the watch out that with the instrumentality of truth, he will destroy Nigeria with truth in their own courts.